Realizing you're married to a lazy and entitled husband who dismisses your contributions and avoids meaningful conversations can be disheartening. But hindsight often reveals patterns and behaviors that were overlooked during the dating phase. Here are some key red flags the wife may have missed and why these contributed to marrying the wrong partner. 1. Lack of initiative in the relationship. During dating, it's important to observe how a partner contributes to the relationship. Did he consistently rely on her to plan dates, solve problems, or handle responsibilities? A lack of initiative in courtship often carries into marriage. Red flag example. He rarely initiated plans or offered to split responsibilities. He was content with the wife making all decisions, from picking restaurants to resolving disputes. Why it was overlooked. She might have mistaken his passivity for easygoingness or interpreted his lack of initiative as a sign that he trusted her judgment. Early infatuation may have masked the imbalance, making her feel needed rather than burdened. She might have underestimated how exhausting it would become to constantly take the lead, believing it was a temporary phase. The consequence. Over time, this dynamic shifts the burden of the relationship onto one partner, leading to frustration and resentment. 2. Entitlement mindset. Entitlement can be subtle during dating but often becomes glaring in marriage. Did he display behaviors suggesting he expected special treatment without putting in equivalent effort? Red flag example. He expected her to pay for dates or consistently sought gifts but rarely reciprocated. He dismissed her efforts or took her achievements for granted. Why it was overlooked. She might have rationalized his behavior, believing that he would become more appreciative over time. Small acts of entitlement may have been overshadowed by charm or affection in other areas. Cultural or societal norms might have influenced her perception, leading her to accept inequities as normal. The consequence. Entitlement breeds a sense of imbalance, where one partner feels undervalued and overworked, while the other continues to take without giving back. 3. Avoidance of difficult conversations. A husband who walks away from conversations likely showed signs of emotional avoidance during dating. This trait can lead to unresolved issues and lack of emotional intimacy in marriage. Red flag example. He dodged difficult topics, like future plans, finances, or disagreements, by changing the subject or withdrawing. He was uncomfortable discussing his flaws or addressing constructive feedback. Why it was overlooked. Early on, the wife may have mistaken his avoidance for a desire to keep things light or avoid conflict. She may have been reluctant to press sensitive topics for fear of creating tension or being seen as overly demanding. His avoidance might have been masked by his ability to deflect with humor or charm. The consequence. Avoidance leaves critical issues unaddressed, creating a relationship where meaningful connection and problem-solving are stifled. 4. Lack of generosity or effort. Generosity isn't just about money, it's also about effort, time, and energy. A lack of effort in making a partner feel special during dating often translates to neglect in marriage. Red flag example. He rarely surprised her with thoughtful gestures or went out of his way to make her feel appreciated. He was reluctant to celebrate her milestones or invest time in activities she enjoyed. Why it was overlooked. She might have downplayed this behavior, convincing herself that grand gestures weren't important. She could have focused on his other qualities, assuming his lack of effort wasn't a significant issue. Early infatuation or physical attraction may have overshadowed deeper concerns about his attentiveness. The consequence. A lack of generosity leads to feelings of neglect, where one partner feels unseen and unvalued in the relationship. 5. Inconsistent work ethic. A partner's attitude toward work and responsibility during dating often reflects their long-term approach to life. Did he show signs of laziness or lack of ambition? Red flag example. He frequently changed jobs, lacked financial stability, or expressed disdain for hard work. He seemed comfortable relying on others, including her, to meet his needs. Why it was overlooked. She may have hoped he'd find his passion or become more driven with time. His charm or other qualities might have distracted from these concerns. If he spoke convincingly about future plans without follow-through, she might have mistaken his words for real ambition. The consequence. A poor work ethic places undue pressure on the other partner to shoulder financial and practical responsibilities, leading to imbalance and frustration. 6. Excuses for bad behavior. Entitled or dismissive individuals often make excuses to justify their actions. Did he frequently rationalize behavior that made her uncomfortable? Red flag example. He blamed external factors, stress, work, family, for his inability to engage in meaningful conversations or show affection. He turned the tables, making her feel like she was overreacting. Why it was overlooked. She might have accepted these excuses as valid, hoping things would improve over time. She may have felt guilty for questioning him or prioritized keeping the peace. 7. Over-reliance on her for emotional or financial support. During dating, did he lean heavily on her for support without offering much in return? This could manifest as emotional dependency or financial reliance. Red flag example. He frequently complained about his problems but showed little interest in hers. He subtly suggested she cover expenses or take care of practical matters. Why it was overlooked. She might have believed that being supportive was her role in the relationship. She may have assumed his reliance was temporary and tied to specific circumstances. 8. Lack of long-term vision. Did he demonstrate clear goals or a shared vision for the future? A partner with no direction can become a burden in marriage. Red flag example. He avoided discussions about long-term plans, like finances, career, or family. He lived day to day without showing interest in personal or professional growth. Why it was overlooked. She might have mistaken his lack of planning for a laid-back personality. She may have assumed she could take the lead in creating their future. Conclusion. Marrying the wrong partner often stems from overlooking or rationalizing red flags during dating. While the wife may not have intentionally ignored these signs, factors like love, societal expectations, or hope for change likely clouded her judgment. Recognizing these patterns now is the first step toward addressing the dynamics in the marriage and deciding the best path forward. Whether through open communication, counseling, or self-reflection, understanding these red flags can empower her to create a healthier and more fulfilling future, with or without her husband.